Well, hello everybody. This is Mac, and we're going to be doing Solving Proportions version B. I do have a version A. If you haven't seen it yet, you can find it at maxtutorials.com. This is actually in my chapter 3, and if you guys can go there, check out that website, watch through my playlists on chapter 3, or just like and subscribe this. That'd be really great. And also drop some comments. Let me know how you're doing. It gives me a lot of encouragement to know when I can help you, and then it makes me want to keep making more of these. Or if there was something that was confusing, or who knows, maybe I even did an answer wrong. It happens sometimes. Let me know. Okay, let's kind of team up on this. The more we work together, the better you're going to do. All right, let's get going. So when we have an equal sign, this is the cross multiplication. Don't do it if we're multiplying fractions, but when you see the equal, it's okay to do that. And remember, when you see any kind of arithmetic in a denominator or a numerator, you want to put that in parentheses. So this is going to be 12 parentheses. Let me zoom up on this. X plus 2 equals 9 times 4, which is 36. Now I'm just going to multiply through and get 12x plus 24 equals 36. And now I'm on a two-step equation. Okay, so hopefully we feel comfortable with these now. If not, go back to my unit 2 on maxtutorials.com, and I do a whole lesson on when I go of just going over these two-step problems. Make sure you feel super comfortable, and I know you're going to do great. All right, let's go on to number 2 over here. I'm going to cross multiply these, and I'm going to get 7x equals 210. Once I divide each side by 7, I just get x equals 30. 7 goes into 21 3 times and 0 0 times. All right, let's go down to number 3. We're going to go ahead and cross multiply here. Boom, boom. Now remember, treat that like a parenthesis. 6 parenthesis x minus 3 equals whatever 5 times 24 is. Well, 5 goes into 5 times 4 is 20. Bring over to 2, 10, 12. I'm going to now do my little distributive property. I do some distributive property ones also in that chapter 2 and my other at maxtutorials.com. So again, if you need some help, feel free to do this. I'm now on a two-step equation. I'm just going to finish it out nice and quick, assuming that we are all pros now at this. Okay, now if I divide each side by 6, I'm going to get something weird because that should say 138. I apologize. 120 plus 18 is 138. All right, so x equals 6 will go into 13 twice with 1 left over. 6 will go into 18 3 times. All right, number 4, boom, cross multiply. Negative 2x, don't forget that negative, equals 56. Once I divide everybody by a negative 2, I'm very simply going to get x equals 28. Boom. Oh, x equals, my apologies, I have one negative, a negative 28. Okay, going on to number 5, I'm going to cross multiply here. Negative 5 times x is negative 5x. 3 times 15 is 45. Once I divide each side by negative 5, you're going to see my answer is going to be a negative 9. I don't know why that keeps happening. I should really learn how to use this little Apple Pencil thing. It's an Apple Pencil or an Apple Pen. I don't know. I'm too old. Here we go. 13 times x plus 1 equals, I don't want to do 39 times 11. So I'm just going to use my little calculator, which is okay, which is 429. Wow, that's fun. Now I'm going to distribute through. This is a distributive property problem. Make sure you do it in the both. That's why I have the plus 13. Now I want letters on one side, numbers on the other. And I'm going to end up with 13x equals 416. And once I do that, this, honestly, everybody just grab your calculators for this one. And we're going to get 416 divided by 13, which gives me a 32. Okay? Let's keep going. Let's go over here to number 7. Cross multiply. All right, remember, treat this like a parenthesis. 4 parenthesis x minus 6. When people mess up on this, they'll write 4x minus 6, and they'll just times the 4 by the x, but they won't do anything with the minus 6. That's the common problem on this one. So be very careful not to make that problem. Now here you're going to distribute through. You're going to get 4x minus 24 equals 108. Now I'm going to add my 24 to both sides. Boom, boom, die. 4x equals 132. and that looks like a nice, pretty number, and I'm going to get x equals, now, watch how I do this. 4 goes into 13 how many times? 3 times. It makes 12. So you have 1 left over. 4 goes into 12 3 times. Okay, number 8, let's cross multiply. X times 20 is 20x. 8 times 15, well, I see the negative, so I got to make sure I do a negative. Oh boy, that looks like a 120. Just kind of did that in my head. I believe that's right. You can check my work. X equals, and that's going to be a negative 6. Boom. Whoop. Negative 6. If you don't like that, just remember, if you're dividing numbers that end with 0, you can just take out the 0, and it's really just 12 divided by 2 when it's all said and done. All right, so there's a little trick there if you don't already know it. Okay, right here, treat that like a parentheses. 3 parentheses x plus 4 equals 66. Now, when I distribute through, I get a 3x plus 12 equals 66. Now I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. Boom. 3x equals 48. And when I divide each side by 3, x equals 3 goes in the 4 once with 1 left over. 3 goes in the 18 6 times. I hope that little trick helps you with your division with single numbers. It's not going to help you with this one. 18x equals 14 times 27. Sorry, folks, I'm grabbing my calculator for that one. So 14 times 27 equals 378. Divide by 18. Divide by 18. You know, technically the trick still works on this one. Watch. How many times will 18 go in 37? Well, the answer is it'll go in, twice, because that makes 36. So I'm going to have 1 left over. 18 goes into 18 once. Okay, so you can use a calculator, but you can do that also. Here we go. We're going to cross multiply. I'm going to get 8 parentheses. Do not forget the parentheses. Equals, let's see, 5 times 6 is 30. Bring the 3 over. That's going to become an 8. Once I do my distributive property, I get 8x minus 40 equals 80. And then once I add my 40 to both sides, boom, boom, and I get 8x equals 120. Divide each side by 8, and I get an x equals 8 goes into 12 once. With 4 left over, 8 goes into 40 5 times. Number 12, cross multiply. Negative 9x equals, you think I'm going to do that in my head? Are you kidding me? All right, I don't like using calculators for a lot of things when you're trying to grasp a concept. But like if this were a thing on how to do multiplication, then of course we wouldn't use a calculator. We would multiply it out. But that's not the point of what this lesson is. So I am more than happy to have students use calculators for this. But I do want to see if you can get this concept though. My answer is going to be negative. 9 goes into 37 4 times because it becomes 36. I have 1 left over. 9 goes into 18 twice. Okay, then you don't need calculators for that part. Here we go. I'm going to use a calculator for this one. I'm going to let you know that right now. 12x equals a negative, because I have negative times positive, and 36 times 7 equals 252. Now I'm going to do the division without a calculator though. X equals negative divided by positive is negative. 12 goes into 25 twice with 1 left over. 12 goes into 12 once. Okay? And last one, we're going to go ahead and cross multiply. 9 parenthesis x minus 2 equals 63. Once I go boom, boom, I get 9x minus 18 equals 63. Now I'm going to add 18 to both sides, and I'm going to get 9x equals 81, and hopefully you see that that's going to be a nice, pretty x equals 9. And my friends, you have just done a bunch of proportion problems, and you can use that kind of as an answer key, see how that works. But really a fabulous job. We're going to have one more version. If you feel like you need some extra help, I'll see you on version B. If not, let's keep going on in Unit 3. All right, good job, everybody, solving proportions.